and the Unity device.
Unity?
We remained silent so they couldn't find us.
They said the name of the movie.
I'm not sure what this is.
Why did we bring her?
We are being hailed.
You put up a brave fight, Captain. I salute you.
It's a good day to die, Commander.
Picard has had enough of that guy. Wow. I don't imagine there's anyone left to hail. Let's go back to the bridge. Get wolfed.
I cannot begin to thank you for coming to our rescue. If I can help you in any way, please let me know.
Show feet.
I'd like to beam a team down to your planet and talk with you more directly.
You and your crew will be most welcome.
Let me guess. It should be Riker. Yeah, we'll go down as Picard himself this time. Well, after all that... Worf, I love you, buddy, but...
Beam down coordinates selected.
I'd like to have Riker with, in case there's women.
Commander Riker, please report to the transporter room.
Good idea. Well, we can kind of trust these guys. We don't need red shirts. Besides, something will just fall on them if we do. You lot will do. Let's do this. I didn't think we'd be going back to previously visited planets. This game is... Wow, there's a lot happening, huh? Picard, do you want to have this chat directly? Or are you going to insist it's Riker again?
Thank you for allowing us to beam down.
I welcome you in the Lawgiver's name. Although the sects have refused to help, I am more than willing to assist you.
Your world appears to be intact. I trust there was no damage from the Romulan vessel.
The Romulans were as you were, so we never let down our defenses. They were unable to penetrate our chameleon field, and they left without inflicting any damage.
How did the Romulans manage to find you, though?
How did the Romulans manage to find you?
The Garidians and the Romulans are allies. The commander of that Garidian ship you met must have gone back and told them.
Why would the Romulans be interested in Fridis?
At first, we thought they wanted to help their allies by forcing us to return to Garrod. But instead, they demanded information about the Chodak and the Unity device.
Unity?
We remained silent so they couldn't find us.
They said the name of the movie.
The ancient Chodak have suddenly assumed great importance in galactic affairs. We were hoping you could tell us some more about them.
Our people have always been fascinated by the ruins found when our ancestors arrived here. Over the years, we have learned many things about the Chodak society and technology.
What do you know about Chodak technology?
Still gets me sometimes.
We do not fully understand the principles behind it, but we've been able to make some of it function. The chameleon field that disguises our world, for example, is a Chodak invention.
What else have you discovered about Chodak technology?
They had an unusual way of navigating that seemed to be based on how long it took to travel between different points at a particular speed. Unfortunately, I don't know how they defined their basic units, so I can't be more specific.
So we're talking about Stargate chevrons.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Chodak technology?
They created special shielding materials which could block out any transporter beams we know of, yet their own transporters could pass through them easily.
What else have you discovered about Chodak technology?
They use devices similar to isolinear rods as keys to many of their machines. Here, let me give you one.
Oh, cheers, mate.
How does it work?
When this programmer is twisted around the rod's end, it can alter the rod's settings, making it a sort of all-purpose key. If you use the programmer properly, you can activate almost any Chodak machine or computer.
Why is everything so dildoid on this planet? Dildos and Gwyneth Paltrow eggs on everything.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Chodak technology?
The crowning glory of their technology was something called the Unity device that made it possible for them to control their far-flung empire.
Do you have any more details about this Unity device?
I think it was a superweapon with almost unlimited powers. When the Chodak lost it somehow, their empire fell apart almost immediately.
Huh.
What do you know about Chodak society?
This is what we get for bringing down Picard, Captain Archaeology.
Their empire spanned this quadrant, encompassing tens of thousands of star systems. It endured for 100,000 years. Then, 900,000 years ago, it disintegrated, almost overnight.
It's unusual for such an immense empire to last that long. What was the secret of their success?
They had a talent for administration. They had an entire planet called Alanor, from which they ruled their empire. The bureaucracy must have been colossal.
Like my current video game.
What else do you know about Chodak history?
The scripters kind of got bored with this one, didn't they? Just do it as one long line of dialogue. They'll press spacebar a lot.
We believe that the group which settled here and built these structures was not from the mainstream of Chodak society.
Oh.
Why do you say that?
For one reason, this is a very small base. The structures the Chodak built could not have held more than a few thousand people. This could not have been a major colony.
And for another?
The Chodak settlers often referred to Alanor as the seat of evil, and frequently said that the Unity device, the Empire's chief means of control, had to be destroyed.
I guess so. I guess so. We are looking at regular Gallifreyans and not Time Lords.
Perhaps the settlers here were similar to your own ancestors, fleeing an established society to pursue a different vision.
Perhaps. But I suspect the Chodak here played a far more active role. This outpost was only inhabited for a few decades, which coincided almost exactly with the end of the Empire as a whole.
These reasons are not strong grounds for believing the settlers here were rebels.
There are 1,000 more small clues, all pointing to the same conclusion. But there is one major mystery which could resolve the question completely.
What is this mystery?
A century ago, our scientists found a Chodak data crystal. We believe it contains the answers we seek, but unfortunately, the crystal is extremely old and fragile. Our equipment is not sophisticated enough to read it without destroying it.
Throw it over here, old man. I'll gum it up.
Perhaps the Enterprise's computers could read your Chodak data crystal safely.
Very well. I will entrust the crystal to you. All I ask is that you share whatever you discover to satisfy our own curiosity.
If you'll excuse me, I have other duties to attend to. Perhaps we can talk again later.
As you wish. May the spirit of the lawgiver guide your path through the stars.
We've done all we can here. Beam us up.
Gently stroke crystal.
Chancellor Larac was most helpful. We now know what the Romulans are seeking.
So I imagine we'd get less information and have to do more busy work. If we'd failed some of the missions down there, or picked the wrong things from the grab box of point-and-click adventure game objects. But we got lucky and did that right, and we didn't destroy the manuscript.
Do you think the Romulans have really found the Unity device?
We know already if they had.
The device is that powerful?
I'm not sure, but without it, an empire which spanned this entire section of the galaxy disintegrated overnight.
What are your orders, Captain?
Let's go to Horst III, apparently.
Set course for Horst III, Warp 5.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
A leisurely stroll to Horst III. As is tradition, XSplit also broke. I'm beginning to become fond of this procedure. My name is SCOTCHBOX. This time XSplit just started ignoring me. I think it's booting this time. There we go. Good.
Oh, hi!
Captain, the ship's computer has completed its attempt to read the damaged Chodak data crystal we received from Chancellor Larac.
Oh, intriguing. Is it something tasty?
Only in part, sir. Much of the information was corrupted, as we had feared. But there is one section that may be of interest in our current situation.
Don't get my cock, kid.
As
Wait.
Chancellor Larac guessed, Fridis was indeed a rebel base. The crystal explains how the rebels stole information from the main computer on Alanor and used it to attack the Unity device itself. The rebels used a programmable encryption rod to access Alanor's main computer and learn vital information about the Unity device. This information was then used to plan a raid against the Unity device.
Well, how about that? I wonder if the Unity device was the star-eating machine or animal. Cool! It was just a really big version of the Planet Eater from the original series, which I still haven't seen that creature. I must be far behind on watching TOS.
There is then a corrupted section and a brief mention of a space freighter called the Rinkel. I am not certain what the connection is between the freighter and the raid. The complete text of the information may of course be found in the ship's computer.
Yay! We're going to do a reading while we're flying. We're fly reading, everyone.
Primary core access enabled. Systems online.
Analysis? The following subheadings tell us about stuff. Learn about your... Oh. The Chodak isolinear technology was apparently far advanced beyond our current Fed levels, judging by the example of this rod. Each isolinear chip within the rod is capable of carrying approximately 10 to the 12th times more information bits than is possible with Federation state-of-the-art. That's impossible. That's more bits than atoms. I guess you could encode so light played through it different ways from different directions? Wow, that's a head fuck. Okay. You know what? It's fictional. It's fine. Furthermore, the Chodak isolinear chips can be packed 32 times more densely without mutual interference, allowing for vastly more compact data storage and retrieval. This particular rod contains encoded information that causes it to respond in a given way to trielectric field resonances. Oh, we're getting some proper technobabble. Good. Anyway, this ISO chip are subject to electronic manipulation by the proper implement, meaning that its patterns can be altered. The rod may thus be used as a passkey for many different applications. And we've got the programmer. This object was specifically designed to alter the electric patterns encoded within Chodak ISO chips, thus changing their responses to trielectric field resonances. When properly used in conjunction with a specially constructed ISO rod, it may alter the encoded patterns within the rod and allow it to serve as a passkey in multiple mechanisms. Meanwhile, this crystal is also a nice linear rod in crystalline form. Most of its data is corrupted over millennia of misuse and disuse, but the following text is a transcript of the most complete recording. Commander's Log 4392.2. Our forces are ready for the assault on the Unity device. I will be leading the attack, so this will be my final log whether we succeed or fail. The following, data corrupt. We used the programmable encryption rod designed by Chief Scientist Bordelas to access the Empire's central computer on the admin planet Alanor. With the codes we obtained, we will be able to blank. The final attack will commence at blank. We'll intercept Spaceliner Renkill, disable its engines and jam comms. The Grints will then proceed to the Unity device and engage the chameleon field. With luck, the Unity device sensors will mistake the Grints for the Renkill. If our ship succeeds in the docking, the assault teams will disembark and bzzzt. Oh, okay, fine. Bzzzt, it's happened. Once we have control of the UD, we will use its power to data corrupt into the future. Into the future? And out of reach of the Oh my god, we're gonna... It's canon. So if we see any of these guys in Discovery, we know that it's canon. And reach out to the meddling bureaucrats. End of file. Fascinating. Okay. We learned some stuff. We learned some stuff there.
Intercept the target.
Let's see if they've used the same face.
Helm.
For our Romulan friend here.
Yellow
A
alert.
Romulan warbird is on sensors.
decloaking.
Locking weapons.
Do you need a
Oh,
moment,
it's the same
Captain?
guy.
The target is out of range.
Well,
Torpedo locked.
good. Have you considered, Mr. Wolf, instead of just...
We who are about to die, salute you.
Maybe you should have put your shields up before engaging the Enterprise in combat, you daft brush.
We have been hit.
Well, I hope you're happy with yourselves.
The Romulan warbird has been destroyed.
Helm, standard orbit.
Oh, we've arrived somewhere.
Captain's log. We have arrived at Horst III to request some advice from the noted Vulcan archaeologist, Chodak. Instead, all we have found here is a recorded message buoy broadcasting continuously.
Yeah, boy. I literally had to, I'm sorry.
To whoever hears this message, the sudden incursion into this region of space by a flotilla of Romulan warships has made this remote expedition untenable. For the safety of my crew, I have decided to abandon this site temporarily. In the name of science, I ask that you do not disturb my work on this planet. There is one site that requires special care. The Chodak site seems to have a field that camouflages it to normal sensors. I located it mostly by accident. There is a platform jutting out part way down a deep shaft in the ground. Further investigation has been blocked by an ancient rock slide.
Came first.
As much as I would like to honor Shaynock's request to leave the site alone, we don't have that luxury. The current situation makes it imperative that we learn where this planet Alanor is. This Chodak base may have the information we need.
You know what? We're going to do an away team, but we'll take Picard because he's literally an archaeologist, as I presume all starship captains are. You know what? I think they randomly dole out what your special skill is. Picard got archaeologist. Some, sadly, just really good at Pong.
We should form an away team at once to investigate this shaft that Shaynock spoke of, but we'll have to be careful to disturb as little on the site as possible.
Agreed. Alright, let's go down. Yeah, why not? Take extra phases to make up for the last couple of missions where I've been polite and not brought phases. Yeah, we might bring Worf with us for this one. Yeah, let's take Picard. Data, you're probably sensible.
Beam down coordinates selected.
LaForge and Troy. I doubt we're going to find anyone. We won't need Troy, surely. LaForge, you do know about ancient stuff, so fair enough. Who else should we bring? We could bring Mr. Shutan. Or we could bring a red shirt. Who shall we bring down? We can have Karlstrom the Nose, Butler the Red Shirt, the Doctor, Mr. Shooting, Mr. Sex, or Mrs. Thinky Emotion. Butler does need the experience, you're not wrong.
Ensign Butler, please report to the transporter room.
She's been on the ship for 4 years, and it's the first time anyone's asked her to go on an away mission. Okay. I wonder if it would be helpful to have a medical tricorder with us. There might be some biology, so let's send Data away for now. I like having Data, though, because he's so literal. You learn a lot whenever you ask him to look at something. I feel like she... Yes, she did, Space Cowboy. In various conversations when there was like a murder plot mission, it was very helpful having her in the room whenever conversations happened, because she was like, that guy's full. We can always beam back.
This is used to program the Chodak isolinear rod. This isolinear rod might help us use Chodak technology.
This device can be used to alter the code of the Chodak isolinear rod. Chancellor Larac said this isolinear rod is a key to unlock certain Chodak apparatus.
We can adjust the code of the isolinear rod.
Just getting the idea. In case one of them had some fascinating new thing to say. They did not. Yes, Chodak rod. Alright, Mrs. Red Shirt, yet for some reason in yellow. You'd lead the way, please. Oh, this jumper gets really warm. Is this a path? It doesn't seem very pathy. Walk to rubble?
There's a pile of rocks against the wall.
Oh, she said something.
It's Captain Picard. It's Lieutenant Commander Data. It's Lieutenant Commander Data.
That's very interesting what they've done with her voice lines. It sounds like they're all cut together. Or maybe that's just a computer bug. Strange. If Worf was here, he'd like to murder this.
It looks like a cave-in covered up something behind that pile of rocks.
These rocks have been here for a long time.
The tricorder says these rocks have been here for thousands of years. I'm reading something on the other side of them.
Did they put in the Picard maneuver? I missed that. I have to watch his
There appears to be
sprite.
a hollow area behind this pile of rubble.
The tricorder indicates something.
You know what? We're gonna let her shoot it. We'll save over. We won't save over GT dildos. We'll save under Tanagra. My dear heart. Faces on 3. Engage. Well, we've warmed them up a bit. Should we risk going a little higher? I don't want to damage the thing behind it. Well, they've glowed for longer. Oh, hey! Good work, team. Okay, we're gonna send in Picard first, since he's the guy who's actually has any interest whatsoever in archaeology and care.
This chasm extends as far down as I can see.
LaForge, you want to use your magic eyes?
It's sure a long way down.
How about you, Data?
Readings indicate that this chasm is 3.487 kilometers deep. The walls are composed primarily of igneous rocks.
Good boy, Data! Alright. Off you pop, Mr. Picard. Set to vaporize. Fascinating. This does feel chody. I've seen a lot of chodes in my time in this game, and this has a distinct feel of chodiness.
This large piece of machinery is still functioning.
This appears to be a field generator of some type. However, I am unfamiliar with its design. Based on these readings, I suspect this is the device which generates the chameleon field.
Always good to have you with us, Mr. Tatar. Uh-oh.
The Chodak must have used this screen to display information. I cannot use this with... I cannot use...
Okay, looks like we need to figure out a way to program the Roddy boy.
It did not...
But this is how we learn. Everyone, we have to go and... we have to find something to program our chode rod with. Easily amused.
There's more equipment over on that side of the room.
Well, why don't you go walk is there, Mr. Pickard? You can bring your boys. Is that a straight-up gun? Data?
This device is similar to a subspace phase spectrometer, which is normally used to measure the intervals between subspace phase fluctuations.
There we are. Okay. Oh, so this is about... We learned that they did something really specific about measuring distances. LaForge, can you find out any more with Captain Thinky Brick? That's what a tricorder is called, Captain Thinky Brick.
The device was set up to measure the time between certain subspace pulses.
Okay. So it's a galactic clock. Interesting.
It's incredible. An energy source still working after 900,000 years. The bottom's almost 3.5 kilometers down.
Damn.
If I were to speculate, I would say that this particular site was used for making astronomical observations.
That would explain why this outpost is so far from the main body of the Chodak Empire. Perhaps they were attempting to make clean observations, uncontaminated by interference from their own transmissions.
Intriguing.
Let's record as much as we can. Our computer can analyze the data and make sense out of it later.
We should have just brought the least competent people for this. Have Crusher leading and Troy there. Just everyone who has nothing to do with this kind of technology. Maybe if we shot it.
I'm not sure what this is.
Why did we bring her?
It's Captain Picard. It's Lieutenant Commander Data.
It sounds like they didn't capture her saying the word "it's," and so they've had to slap it onto generic lines they had for fill-in.
It's Lieutenant Commander LaForge. It's Captain Picard. It's Lieutenant Commander Data.
Or she talks like a Furby. One of those two. Do you want to try playing with it? Oh, wait, this might be one for Data. Do you want to try playing with it, Data?
I do not believe that will work.
Do you want to jam this in it?
I see no way of using this with that object. I see no way...
This is literally what this is for.
I see no way of...
Fine.
No unusual readings. No unusual... This device can be used to alter the code of the Chodak isolinear rod.
Okay. So it looks like the things we can look at here are the pit and the instrument for looking into sky. I don't see much else to interact with here. Yeah, should we go and play with the console?
I do not believe that will work.
Is this an on button? It is not.
I do not believe that will work. I do not believe... My readings indicate this mechanism may still be operational.
Ah! Fuck chisel. You gotta chisel that What the heck am I looking at?
I do not believe... Intriguing.
I'd like to get this information into the ship's computer and find out what it is.
I was kind of hoping that's what the tricorder would do.
I'm not sure what to make of these readings.
Why did we bring you?
Even though some of the data has been corrupted over time, our computer can probably deduce a wealth of helpful information from it.
Well, I hope it magically goes in. Does that mean it's now programmed onto the rod? I guess we'll find out by beaming up.
Beam us up. Captain's log.
Hey.
The archaeological site on Horst remains a fascinating mystery. I'm hoping that our ship's computer will be able to analyze the tricorder data we discovered at the Chodak site and tell us quickly what we need to know.
Is all of that canon? Wow. Okay.
Primary core access enabled. Systems online.
Considering how complex they've made this thing, I wouldn't be surprised if you can't access this if the computers were too damaged in combat. Okay, so no new information yet. I wonder if we're just awaiting... Ah, here we are. The units in question include a scientific instrument and a rigid mounting that holds it in place. The mounting is set on a motorized gimbal, moving in a pattern calculated to keep the instrument constantly pointing at a given position at the sky. With no established long standard for Horst III, the instrument was arbitrarily defined as being the 0 long reference. By local celestial coordinates, the instrument was pointed at 42, 18, 37. Ah, but in minutes and seconds at a certain speed, which we don't know yet. We don't know what the speed is, which means we cannot use our Heisenberg device. What's it called on the transporter? Oh, we can just... If we break the Heisenberg compensator out of the transporter and plug it into the engines, we don't need to know the speed. We'll just arrive there. Perfect. Incorporating the function of several known instruments used throughout the Federation, most notably a subspace phase spectrometer. The instrument was calibrated to measure variations in the subspace bandwidths, G through K. Well, it's beta canon, but I like that we've actually learned something about how subspace works. As well as to calculate the frequency of such variations. There are no star systems within the Fed space along that line of the coords. The nearest known star system along those coords is over 55k light-years distant from Horst III. The coordinates do intersect an arm of the Z Tananis nebula, however. which expanded into the region nearly 700,000 years ago. It is possible some uncharted objects may exist along the line within the nebula itself. We can point at it, but 55,000 light years, isn't that like... Are we talking about gamma quadrant levels of distance at that point?